We got to save a people who are being victimized by the money-hungry merchants of death, who are feeding our people chemistry that has got us filled with every kind of disease by eating the diseased meats, filled with hormones that they use to fatten the beef, fatten the pork, fatten the lambs, that they can make more money. And as you eat the food, you wonder why so much cancer is killing the American people, heart disease. It's death in the food that we are consuming. We have put our mouths in the kitchen of an enemy, and we have to take our mouths out of their kitchen. Their students of population growth saw the womb of the white woman not being blessed. And when she was becoming barren, they started developing fertility drugs for white women. But for you, they developed birth control that they knew would so damage you. And they have been working now for over 40 years to curtail your birth rate. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad wrote years ago that they were putting chemicals in the food and in the water, in the atmosphere. And it is a fact today that the sperm count in the male, all males, but the black male particularly, is getting less and less and less. Yeah. You with ovarian cancer and us with prostate cancer, breast cancer, prostate cancer. See, they are working to destroy a people. You didn't hear me. And the conspiracy was kill all the boy children and spare the females. Look at your women. They are in great pain because there's no man. Conspiracy to destroy black leadership, because they know that if the right leader comes along to speak the right words to the right people at the right time, the people will respond. So they know that if you cut off a head, the body can't function. Because just as you have a head on your body that sees for you, hears for you, speaks for you, thinks for you, anything that damages your head, your body is finished. You've seen people that are mentally wrecked. They could have physically strong bodies, but if your mind is gone, your body can't do anything. And this is why you must not ever develop strong, bold, courageous, wise leadership. So government works to cut off leaders that they don't control. And they work to control leaders that they feel might give them trouble. Now, the first part of the conspiracy is enacted. Kill off the boy babies, spare the female. The second, don't let them join on to anyone that Pharaoh perceives as an enemy. And if you notice, every black leader that has ever connected to anyone outside of America that America didn't join you on to, that leader was set upon, killed, imprisoned, vilified, maligned. And just check what I'm saying. Paul Robeson, a brilliant scholar, athlete, artist. As an artist, he went overseas, and he was loved in Europe. Black man gets respect outside the country, they must make sure that he's disrespected inside the country. So when brother came back, the propaganda machine, the media, had made sure that the American people, particularly black people, would see him as their enemy. They said he was an enemy to his own people. And so on his way to Peekskill, New York, he was stoned. He died as a recluse. And the other night I happened to turn on A&E, and I saw a biography of this great and wonderful human being, W.E.B. Du Bois, brilliant scholar, profound thinker and writer. But when he went overseas to be a part of the Pan-African Congress and saw and wrote that the 20th century problem would be the problem of the color line, then they took his passport, keep him from traveling. See? Malcolm was all right if he's talking, let's separate, and white man is no good. I mean, you know, that kind of talk, they can tolerate that. It's bad, but they can tolerate it. But for God's sake, don't go overseas talking that. Now Malcolm gets out and goes overseas and wants to be a part of the OAU and link the struggle of black people in America, not on a civil rights level, but on a human rights level, that we deserve self-determination, self-reliance, self-independence. Malcolm was poisoned in Egypt. And de Gaulle, when he was landing in Paris to speak in France, de Gaulle wouldn't let him speak because he didn't want Malcolm assassinated on French soil. They knew time was up. Yes, black people pull the trigger. We always do. But the hidden hand, the hidden hand, the slinking devil that whispers into the hearts of men from among the jinn and the men, they're always at work. And if they can get us to do the dirty work, they slink in behind the scene and say his own people killed him. But they won't tell you how the government worked night and day to separate Malcolm X from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. They won't talk about how they worked in the Panther Party to split Huey Newton and Eldridge Cleaver and others. They won't tell you how they work in black organizations to set one against the other. They will not tell you how they have agents in every black organization now, and now they have agents in the churches of the strong preachers. Farrahkhan, by the grace of God, calls the Million Man March, and afterwards I go overseas and they say Farrahkhan is over there cavorting with thugs, and they write he's an enemy of his people. He squandered the goodwill of the Million Man March as though you had something to do with the goodwill. The Million Man March was successful in spite of everything that was done against it, because God wanted it to be successful to serve notice on the world that he is present in the world and working on behalf of his people. But His Holiness the Pope has now forming diplomatic relations with Libya. His Holiness the Pope is going to visit Cuba soon, at the invitation, of course, of President Fidel Castro. I understand soon he will go to China. All the rogues. But you won't say that His Holiness is cavorting with thugs. Why? His Holiness is white.